So I had an interesting email from Busch Gardens Tampa. The title says Busch Gardens Tampa Bay launches nearly $40 million park transformation under new leadership. New park president Jeff Davis unveils sweeping additions and upgrades, including new wild oasis at Jongala, new animals and animal habitats, new and improved food experiences, and Adventure Island expansion. So yeah, they got a lot going on, and I just want to make this quick disclaimer. This has nothing to do with a new roller coaster or anything like that. This is overall park, improvements, something that Busch Gardens Tampa solely needed. Okay. Jeff Davis formerly came from SeaWorld San Antonio, so he's coming here with his expertise. Hopefully he can make things a lot better. And he was quoted saying this: "The additions and improvement will be made across our infrastructure, operations, staff recruiting, equipment, as well as adding to our aesthetics with more beautiful gardens and plant life. New animal arrivals are also in the plans, such as the reimagined meerkat habitat set to open this summer to inspire awe and wonder for all who visit. This is an exciting time for the park, and these investments will make it better than ever before." That makes me very happy to hear. And we're going to just talk about the bullet points that he mentioned in this quote. So the first thing he said was the infrastructure. And when it comes to infrastructure, the first thing I can think of is the app experience and just overall just getting your benefits as a pass holder. It is horrible. Their system is so slow. If you've ever seen any of my recent Busch Gardens vlogs, you will notice that I always have an issue with their kiosk. And this was a brand new kiosk they opened, I would say almost about close to a year or so ago. Because before they had the old system, the system that SeaWorld Orlando still has, which honestly is much better than this current system. Everything is so slow. The app experience is horrible. Probably the worst app I've used compared to all the other theme parks. Six Flags has a much better app. Universal definitely has a much better app. So it's like, I feel like they just need to just start over from scratch and, build the app from the ground up. Operations is, to me, the worst aspect of Busch Gardens Tampa. It is so bad, especially with like big rides like Iron Gwazi and Cheetah Hunt or whatever. I feel like there's little to no urgency when you're getting in a ride and they're trying to put the stuff in. With Iron Gwazi, I can give a little exception because all RMCs have that same slow process. They want you to put the seat belts on first. They got to check if everyone, all the seat belts are good, and then you got to put down the restraint. All RMCs work like that. So, I can give them a little pass, but I feel like they can still be a little bit faster. With other rides, they definitely can be a lot better. So I'm glad that they're going to do improvement to the operations because it's really needed. All right, staff recruiting. Now, I noticed prior to the new park president coming, they definitely had some staff issues, especially with Iron Gwazi, where really it looks like they need 4 ride ops in order to get the ride running optimally. I feel like they're only using half of what they usually need to run a roller coaster, efficiently. And I noticed they don't have groupers at all. At least in 2024, I don't remember them having groupers like at rides like Montu or Cheetah Hunt. They just like let the crowd spill in the queue lines. So hopefully they can improve on recruiting staff. But here's the kicker though, because I listened to their second quarter earnings call, and it sounded like United Parks are more interested in being more efficient with their labor costs than anything. So I don't know if that will prevent them from hiring the people they need to keep the park running. So we will see what happens. But I do know they are definitely working more on a efficient route instead of really just focusing on the customer experience. So hopefully that changes. All right, so as far as equipment, the only thing I can think about is probably the locker system because, they need an overhaul in the locker system for sure. I remember the very first time I used a locker for Busch Gardens. I paid for it. I tried opening it. It would not open. It was just stuck. It would not open for anything. So I had to wait for an ambassador to come to give me another, available locker. But yeah, that's the first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to equipment. Hopefully they can get that working. Now, I mentioned earlier about the kiosk. The kiosk itself is fine. It's just the system they're using needs working. So hopefully that that's part of the equipment that they're talking about in this email, because I'm not 100% sure what they mean by equipment, but I'm assuming that's stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So the last thing they said was improving their aesthetics and adding more gardens and plant life, which, yeah, this is Busch Gardens. Bring the gardens back to Busch Gardens. Yes, I definitely accept that. You know, when it wants to, Busch Gardens can be a very beautiful looking park, especially by the Bird Gardens area, like past Iron Gwazi. It can be just absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, definitely down with that. All right, so there are 5 different bullet points that this email talks about, and we're gonna go through one by one. So the first one they talk about is Wild Oasis. Of course, we all know that it's going to be opening in May of 2025. Now, they added this, but Waddle Ace was something that was conceptualized before the park president even came. It is opening under his leadership, so I guess he had to put it there. The next bullet point is going to be new animal experiences and habitat enhancements. And for those who don't know, Busch Garden is an AZA accredited zoo. They provide care to over 16,000 animals, representing more than 200 species, according to the email. So one of the new animals that really excites me is the capybara. Now, this animal pretty much grew in popularity in the last couple of years, and I've never even heard of a capybara until social media, and I'm like, wow, these animals are pretty cool. I cannot wait to see a capybara in person. Other animals are going to be giant anteaters, squirrel monkeys, and meerkats. I don't think I've ever seen a meerkat in person. Wait a minute, didn't the park used to have meerkats? I could be mistaken, but yeah, I'm excited that they're having these new animal experiences to the park, which is awesome. And they're also going to include improvements to existing animal experiences, such as a new climbing structure for the new troop of chimpanzees, accessibility features to accommodate the geriatric all-female Asian elephant herd, and a beautiful new giraffe bar. Third bullet point, I feel like is very good. Our new executive chef is Lavon Smith, and according to the email, he plans to bring an exciting new culinary vision to the park with newly opened full-service venues like Treetop Kitchen, offering guests a vibrant culinary adventure inspired by global cuisines spanning the regions of Africa and South America. Sounds pretty good. And then, of course, the second half of this is they're talking about the Food and Wine Festival that's still ongoing. But the most important thing is that they're going to improve the culinary experience, which they really need it. The food isn't horrible, but stuff like burgers, the chicken tenders, the burgers are okay. The chicken tenders are just, at least the last time I tasted them, were just super flavorless. And I feel like they definitely need like a bump up in flavor and just better tasting food. So I'm very happy that they're going in this direction. Thumbs up for me. All right, so the next point is going to be year-round entertainment, new shows, and Summer Night Spectacular. And according to this email, Summer Nights at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay return on select dates from May 23rd to August 10th, lighting up the park with extended hours and unforgettable thrills. This year's event features an all-new nighttime spectacular, high-energy live shows and exciting ways to enjoy fan-favorite entertainment like Rhythm of Nature, the only year-round ice skating show at a theme park in North America. I did not know that, and I have yet to seen it myself. But one day I'm going to catch the show. I promise. I remember the old school Busch Gardens when they had so many like live shows, and they had belly dancers, and they had the Sheiks with the marching band and stuff like that. So I feel like they really need to bring some of that stuff back to Busch Gardens. Like that really made the park, a theme park. All right, so the last point is about Adventure Island. Big splash at Adventure Island, new rides and new energy. And according to the email, it says Adventure Island's Tampa Bay's #1 water park continues to expand its thrills with exciting attractions designed for guests of all ages. As part of the recent investments, families can embark on an aquatic adventure at the brand new interactive splash and play area Castaway Falls, a multi-level play area featuring exciting water elements and cascading slides. Additionally, the summer will bring new thrills and interactive events guests won't want to miss. More exciting announcement to come later this spring. It seems like Adventure Island is getting a facelift and they're getting a brand new area. I have not been to Adventure Island in a minute. With all this changes happening to Busch Gardens and Adventure Island, I may just take a visit and see what's going on. It seems like they are invested in making improvements to the water park. So if you're a fan of Adventure Island, yeah, that should be good news. All right, so that's basically it for this email. I know those who are coaster enthusiasts may be sad that they didn't really talk about a roller coaster, but listen, this park has put in like 4 different rides in the past 4 or 5 years. So it's like they need to take a little time out and then focus, look at the park and see, okay, what can we improve with the park to make it better than it is before. So I am very, very glad that they're doing this, especially with the operation part at the beginning of the email. So yeah, that's basically my thoughts. Hopefully this new park president followed through with these new changes. On top of news we got prior, with Kumba reopening in the summer, this feels like this is going to be a rebound season for Busch Gardens Tampa Bay. And, I look forward to what they're going to do. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think about the new improvements in the comments below. And I'll see you next time.